而家做緊直播啊！我哋就喺嗰度嘅，我冇跑你嗰度啊！我知啦，我而家有個同事俾你。小心。Okay. Hello everyone. Welcome to Xinhua Live. I'm Zhong Quansheng with China's Xinhua News Agency.
I'm Wang Jinqiang with Xinhua News Agency.
As you can see now, we are now standing in a boat. We are now in Beihai City in South China's Guangxi Zhuang Autonomous Region. We are now in Dianjian Fishing Port, one of the largest fishing ports in Guangxi. And today we are going to do a live report on the local fishermen's preparation for the upcoming number 14 typhoon, the Pakhar. And if you're interested in the fishing culture, please stay with us with our live report today.
Yes, and as you may know, the typhoon Pakhar has made its landfall in Guangdong province this morning, and it's about to pass Guangxi in 1 or 2 hours. And the local fishermen is doing everything we can to minimize their damage.
Well, actually, the number 14 typhoon, the Hato, has just swept past Guangxi, and the local fishermen are going to welcome the number 14 typhoon. And the local weather forecast said that the number 14 typhoon, Pakhar, will visit Guangxi in less than 2 hours. So actually, just now it has rained very heavily, and the local fishermen are all anchoring their fishing vessels in the port just to minimize the damage of the typhoon.
And the Dianjian port is in the Beibu. And as you may know, the northwestern part of the Pacific Ocean is one of the most active area where typhoon occurs each year. And during June to November, it is the most active time period. But during the time period from August to October, it is the peak season for typhoon to hit southern. And you can see from a camera, there are fishermen busy
Dianjian fishing port, and each year over 3,000 fishing boats and vessels would start from here and steer into the South China Sea to conduct fishing operations. Normally, a fishing vessel would go on a voyage that lasts over 1 week, but now they will have to come back earlier as the number 14 typhoon Pakhar is arriving in Guangxi this afternoon in less than 2 hours. Just a few days ago, the number 13 typhoon Hato just hit the region and brought damages to the people here. I was told that a fishing vessel is the most valuable asset to a fisherman's family, which may worth up to several million yuan, and which is about hundreds of thousands US. And many of them do not only work on the boats, but also live on the boats. Therefore, the fishermen would not take the odd.
Hato, uh, as you may know, the name of typhoons are derived from many cute fishes. Like the typhoon Pakhar is a freshwater fish that is originated in Laos. Besides, although their name are very beautiful, their power is very destructive and cause a lot of life and economy losses to the local people.
Okay. Weather forecasts said that the storm could be devastating, and local government has done many things to ensure the safety of the people and their assets. Weather forecast has sent alarm information to local people via text messages. Fishery Administration asked local fishermen to stop fishing and come back to the port. On the other hand, the staff from Fishery Administration also get on board some of the fishing vessels to see whether the fishermen has prepared well enough to resist the damage from the typhoon.
Over 20 people have died during the previous typhoon Hato, and hopefully during this typhoon Pakhar, there will be no casualties. And Chunsheng, do you know the difference between a typhoon and a hurricane?
Well, in my opinion, the hurricane is more about the wind, right? The hurricane, maybe let me think of the storm, but the typhoon, I think it appears more in the coastal areas. Yeah, just next to the sea, I think. So what do you think?
Actually, I have the same thought as you before, but yesterday I did my homework, and it turns out that typhoon and hurricane are the same thing. Only the difference is that the place they occurred, like in northwestern Pacific Ocean, when a matured tropical cyclone occurred, it is called typhoon. But in the Atlantic Ocean and the northeastern Pacific Ocean, like in the United States, it is called a hurricane.
Okay.
Only the difference of the locations.
Okay, very tiny difference, right?
Yes.
Yeah. As you can see, it seems a little bit sunny, but actually, in my opinion, it's just the peace before the thunderstorm, because the number 14 typhoon is ready to hit this region. So, but through my observation, I can tell you that the local people are very not taking this typhoon very serious,
Yes.
because they are getting very used to this kind of typhoon. As I have just mentioned just now, this year seems to be a year when the typhoon occur very frequently, and just counting this one, this is the number 14 typhoon this year, and this is a relatively very frequent for the typhoon to occur in China.
Actually, the Chinese people have over 1,000 years history of fighting against natural disasters like typhoon or the tropical storms. And I think especially here in Guangxi and its neighboring province, Guangdong, the fishermen, they have a lot of life experience in dealing with the emergencies or some usual problems caused by typhoon. And you can see from a camera, there are many small boats transporting their goods in order to peacefully survive this typhoon Pakhar.
Yeah. You can also see from the camera that there are boats that is trying to transport the ice blocks to the fishing vessels. Actually, the fishing vessels can contain a lot of ice blocks, and Jingqiang, can you take a guess? How much does the okay, we encountered some emergencies, but never mind. I will introduce this typhoon for you. Just now, I wanted to ask Jingqiang whether what the ice bricks are used for, and actually, the ice blocks are used to keep the freshness of the seafood on the boat, because normally a fishing vessel would go on a voyage that lasts over 10 days or so. So in order to keep the freshness of the seafood, they have to transport many such kind of ice blocks on the boat so that they can keep the freshness of the seafood. As you can see, there are hundreds of huge fishing vessels in this Dianjian fishing port. As I have told you earlier, Dianjian fishing port is one of the largest in Guangxi, and over 4,000 fishing vessels are anchored here, and they start here, and many of them steer into the South China Sea to hunt for the fishes and prawns. Yes. As I have told you earlier, the local fishermen not only work on the boat, they also live on the boat. You can see the clothes on the boat, and it is just like the moving home for the local fishermen. And I was told that because the local fishery administration has set a limit for the number of fishing vessels. So the local fishermen, some of the local fishermen cannot get the permit to do the business right here in Beihai. So, but they have this kind of technique, and they are very familiar with the sea. So how can they do to make a living? So some of them just move to another place. For example, Hainan province, to make a living in the fishing industry. Okay, my partner Jingqiang is back, and let her say something.
Yeah, so as you may know, my hometown is in the northern part of China. So actually, it is my first time to witness a typhoon in my real life. But your home is in Guangxi, right, Shenzhen? So can you tell me something about your impression of typhoon when you were a kid?
Well, I can tell you that I live in a small town which is about hundreds of kilometers away from the seashore. But my hometown are also affected by the typhoon sometimes. And in my memory, whenever the typhoon hit the place, there were storms and it rained all the day, and then came the flood. I live just near the river, so when the flood broke out, the flood, I would have to move all my personal belongings to the upper stairs. So it was very tiring, but I can remember it. I can memorize it very clearly. Okay.
Yes, and I think we are very lucky today, actually. As you may know from the TV news report, you can see that a lot of journalists, they will hold on to the tree in case that they will blown away by the severe wind. I guess maybe over 10 or 11 level. Yes.
Okay. like I just said earlier, it was just like the peace before the thunderstorm. Actually, the wind is like the breeze, right? And it has just stopped raining. But believe me, in less than 2 hours, when the number 14 typhoon, the Pakhar, when it hits, you will you will remember if you just witness this scenery yourself. So take my advice, just stay in the indoors, so that you can protect yourself from the typhoon.
So stay indoors is one of the most safety tips
Yeah.
when a typhoon occurs. But I think the most important thing is don't panic. Just
Yeah.
keep calm,
Yeah.
because we humans will win in
Yeah.
the end.
Yeah.
And as you can see from our camera into the sky, there are huge blocks of dark clouds, and it seems like in the movies, it's the doomsday is about to come. And I think all of the local people who are watching our live here should listen to Chen Sheng's advice. Stay indoors and keep safe.
Yeah. Don't don't panic. Just
Don't
like you
panic.
said. Yeah. It's not that terrible, right?
Yes.
Just as you can see from the camera, actually the local people are very used to this kind of typhoon, which is not very uh, intimidating, and they're actually very calm. They just stay calm and do their business, right? Yeah. So actually, people stay indoors, and the fishing vessels they just come back to the port to prevent the the damage from the typhoon. So actually, the local people are very used to this kind of phenomenon. Yeah. So they are. I guess they are not very afraid of this scale of typhoon. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think one of the key reasons why these fishing people are so calm is that the damaging power of typhoon Qatar Pakhar is not that severe, and as compared to its previous one, typhoon Hato, and so to them, I think the past typhoon is like we normal people getting a cold, so it's no big deal. Just stay calm, and everything will be okay after 1 or 2 days.
Okay. Just now, um, my colleague correct me that this Paka is not actually a typhoon. Is that actually a tropical storm? So actually, I think the level is not that high, right?
I think it has reached the level of a typhoon, but just not that destructive as Hato.
Okay. Yeah. Um, the Paka is not severe as the Hato, but they we also have to take care, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, the Paka is landing uh, on Guangdong province, and it is about to arrive in Guangxi. So I was told that the situation in Guangdong is not very serious, and I was told that my colleague in Guangdong are also preparing for a live report. So um, we are in Guangxi. We are going to our situation in Guangxi is almost done. So maybe we can pass our microphone to our colleagues in Guangdong
Yes.
province.
Thank you for watching our live report.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. Hello and welcome. I'm Liu Guangyi with Xinhua News Agency. Now I'm in Yangjiang, Guangdong Province, reporting Typhoon Pakhar for you. Just several minutes ago, we experienced the very, very heavy rains caused by Pakhar. But you can see right now, we can see the sun. The sun comes out already. It is quite hot, actually. It looks like Pakhar has never come here. Actually, around 9 o'clock in the morning, Pakhar landed on Jiangmen, Guangdong Province, just about 19 kilometers away from Yangjiang City. Actually, but now when we're looking around all the things is quite peaceful. Why Pakhar? Now Pakhar has already come across Guangdong province, heading for Guangxi province. Why this Pakhar is go so fast and have so little causes in Yangjiang city? Because the typhoon Pakhar have several unique characteristics. The first one is this Pakhar moves really fast. According to meteorological predictions, last night the Pakhar should be arrived in Jiangmen, Guangdong province around 11 o'clock in the morning, but actually in this morning around 9 o'clock, 2 hours earlier, it landed on Taishan. This Pakhar moves really fast. Just within several hours, it just come across Guangdong and heading for Guangxi province. And the second characteristic is that Pakhar have quite a small influential circle. It have very strong wind power, but its influential circle is very, very small. So that Yangjiang is just 19 kilometers away from its landing spot, Jiangmen, but in Yangjiang we can barely feel the Pakhar's influence. Okay, now let's look over there. Okay, let's move our camera and look over there across the street. Over there across the street, we can see a lot of small trees. We can see a lot of small trees. Over there across the street, we can see a lot of small trees, and we can see the trees are totally in a mess. It is not destroyed by Pakhar, but destroyed by Pakhar's brother, Hato, that attacked Guangdong 4 days ago. Unlike Pakhar, Hato have really devastating influence on Guangdong and caused 9 people's deaths in total in Guangdong province and massive financial losses. We can see that those small trees. Away from there, far away from there, on that building, we can see that there are several advertisement boards. Can you see it? They are also destroyed by Hato. Actually, when Hato comes, many advertisement board was destroyed, and along all the highways of Guangdong province, there are thousands of trees destroyed by Hato. Compared to Hato, Pakhar is quite is just like a lamb. Pakhar has gone, but Pakhar's influence still remains. The meteorological department alert us. We should also alert for Pakhar's influence on strong rains and other disasters that may have. Okay, that's my report about Pakhar from Guangdong.